All right, section 1.6, day 2. I can identify and graph step and other piecewise defined functions. This is going to be our main focus today. Okay. All right, so the step function. Step function is called the step function because it looks like steps. And here's what's happening. The definition kind of explains why it creates these steps. This weird looking bracket represents the greatest integer less than or equal to x. So greatest integer less than or equal to x. So let's just say I had this weird looking bracket here. This is usually how I draw it. Just a square bracket and then put another line in between there of 2.4. So if I'm trying to figure that out, what is the greatest integer less than 2.4? The greatest integer below 2.4 is 2. So it kind of like chops it off. All right, so that's why we see over here at x value of 2.4, the y value or output value of this function is 2. So whether it's 2.4 or 2.3 or 2.8, the answer is always 2, right? No matter what decimal this is. So that's why it's a flat line for all these decimals of 2.1, 2.2, and so on, okay? And then it hops up to the next one. It keeps doing that. Okay, so you really just you just really gotta identify that. We don't graph these ones too much. We do the piecewise, but we don't usually create these graphs that often. Just make sure you know how to recognize it, okay? All right, so we will have to evaluate this though. So let's take a look at 5 and 6. Okay, I'll walk you through 5, maybe A, and then maybe jump over 6B and see how you can see if you can figure out the rest. So evaluate the step function for each value of x. Okay, so for example, if I'm doing B, I'll jump down to C. So what we do is we take 9.55 and throw it into this bracket. So it would look like this, square bracket, 9.55. Okay, so by definition, I'm looking at the greatest integer less than or equal to x. So the greatest integer less than or equal to 9.55 is going to be 9. Okay. The only difference for a problem like 6 is that you have to do something first inside the bracket. So let me walk you through 6b. This one's going to look like this. Got this bracket. 7 plus 3. So we get 10. So focus on the inside first before we do the greatest integer step or the step function step. Okay. All right. Remember the definition says on the previous page, greatest integer less than or equal. So what's the greatest integer less than or equal to 10? It's going to be 10. All right, don't go down to 9 because the definition says less than or equal to. So 10. Okay. All right, I'm going to pause for a moment. You guys try the rest of those problems, 5A and B, 6A and C.